Hello, good evening everyone. Yesterday we discussed about classification of data structures where we studied that the data structures are classified into two types, basically into two types. The first one is primitive data structure and the second one is non-primitive data structures. The examples for primitive data structures are integer, character, float, double and pointer, whereas non-primitive data structures are further classified into linear data structures and non-linear data structures. The linear data structures are arrays, strings, stack, queues, linked list, and the non-linear data structures are trees and graphs. So this is our yesterday's discussion where we stopped. Now let me proceed. Okay, we are going to proceed with the primitive data structures. Today we are going to discuss about primitive and non-primitive both. Okay, so now let me continue with primitive data structures. So what is primitive data structure? We'll see on the screen first, then later we'll discuss about it. We'll read it from the screen. Primitive data structures are those structures which are readily available in programming language. As I already told, the primitive data structures are the built-in or the library structures. So here we are saying it clearly, the primitive data structures are those structures which are readily available in programming language. That means that it is already predefined. So the second point, we'll concentrate on the second point, the storage representation, that is memory representation, and the possible operations for these structures are predefined and the user cannot change this. That means this is already defined in the language. User just he has to use it. But he cannot make any changes in its storage representations or memory representations. We'll proceed to the next. The different primitive data structures are integer, float, character, double and pointer. Yesterday we discussed about what is integer, what is float, what is character, what is double, what is pointer. Already we used it. Okay, we'll proceed to the next slide. Here we are going to see here what are the operations on the data structures. Primitive data structures. Basically, these operations are on primitive data structures. Some of the common operations on primitive data structures are, the first operation is creation operation. I have given an example, you can see from there, but first we'll read it and then later we are going to discuss about it. This operation, create operation, this operation is used to create a storage representation, for a particular data structure. This operation is normally performed with the help of declaration statement available in the programming language. As we are seeing in the example, where n is a variable, integer variable, which has been assigned a value of 25, which is a constant, and that 25 is stored in the somewhere memory location, and that memory location is named as n. And we know that an integer data type requires 2 bytes of memory. This is what we told here. These things, that the integer takes 2 bytes, the float takes 4 bytes, long integer takes 4 bytes. These things are already predefined. These things cannot be changed. So creation operation, what we can do on the primitive data structures. Primitive data structure, one best example for primitive data structure is integer. We can use an integer for creating an variable. Okay, we'll see the next. The second operation is selection operation. This is the most frequently used operation and is used to access the data within a structure, Most frequently means we have to access the data frequently. We have to access the memory location frequently. So for that we are going to use cin, as we are well aware that cin is used for input. So what we are inputting here? An n value, and that inputted n value will be stored in the memory location which is named as n. So this is selection operation. After that we'll proceed to the next one, update operation. Update means we are making changes in that. This operation is used to change the data in a data structure. Here we are changing an n value. Previously its value is 25. Now we are changing it to 10. So this is update operation. And the last one is the destroy operation. This operation is used to destroy or delete a particular data structure from its storage representation. Once again, the destroy operation, this operation is used to destroy or delete a particular data structure from its storage representation. That means we are removing, we are deleting that existing data structure. Example we have given here in C++, one can destroy a data structure by using delete function, Okay, so now we observed what are the operations we can do on primitive data structures. The basically operations on primitive data structures, there are 4 operations what we can do on the primitive data structures. The first operation is creation operation, where we can create the memory representation or the storage representation by using some of the data structures like integer. Okay, the second operation is what? Selection operation. We can make selections by using cin, cout, like that. Then the third one is update operation, where we can change the value of a data. This is update operation. Destroy operation, as you know, we can delete or we can remove. So these are the 4 basic operations on the primitive data structures. What are those operations? Once again, creating, selection, update and destroy. Let me proceed to the next slide. We'll go for the non-primitive data structures. As we know that primitive data structures are already defined, predefined. User cannot do much things here. He has to use it. The primitive data structures are integer, float, double. Already defined, already given to the user. Just user has to use it according to his requirements, programming requirements. But non-primitive data structures are those structures which are not readily available, So we'll read it from the screen. We have a point here. Non-primitive data structures are those structures which are not readily available in a programming language. It makes a clear statement that the non-primitive data structures, what we are discussing here, those things are not readily available. That means they are not predefined. They are not library functions. They are user-defined data structures. They are user-defined. We'll see a second point here. The storage representation and the possible operations for these types of structures are not predefined, and the user has to define them. That means user has to define the non-primitive data structures. Already we have seen in the classification that non-primitive data structures are, we have some examples of non-primitive data structures like array, stack, queue, linked list. Array, stack, queue, linked list. These are non-primitive data structures, and these are not inbuilt. This is created by, this is designed by, and these data structures are developed by user. So this is the importance of non-primitive data structures. We'll see the definition of non-primitive data structures. The definition is, non-primitive data structures are the data structures which are derived from the primitive data structures. This is where you have to. That means while creating non-primitive data structures, we are using primitive data structures. Integer, float, double, character. These are primitive data structures. While creating non-primitive data structures, we can use, or we are using primitive data structures. That means non-primitive data structures are derived from which data structures? They are derived from primitive data structures. I can give an example, an array int a of 10, int a of 10 that we have discussed in our PUC first year classes. Int a of 10, here a of 10 is an array of integer. Integer is a primitive data structure. A of 10 array, a of 10 is an array, that is non-primitive data structure. So we can say that non-primitive data structures are the data structures which are derived from the primitive data structures. Now we have given here the different non-primitive data structures are arrays, stacks, queues, linked list, trees and graphs. In this we have again two types, linear and non-linear. But what are those linear and non-linear? We'll proceed it later. But these are the different non-primitive data structure. What do you mean by non-primitive? The data structures which are designed by the user. By using primitive data structure, for such things we are going to call it as non-primitive data structures. Examples are array. Array is created by user by using primitive data structure. Int a of 10, float a of 10, that can be an example. Stack, queues, still we are unaware of these things. We'll proceed to the stacks and queues in the next class. Okay, but see the examples clearly and identify it that arrays, stacks, queues, linked list, trees and graphs are the non-primitive data structures. Then what are the primitive data structures? Integer, float, character, double are what? Primitive data structures. Arrays, stacks, queues, linked list, trees and graphs are non-primitive data structures. Fine, we'll proceed to the next. We'll see here what are the operations on non-primitive data structures. So everyone has to concentrate here. These operations are very important. Basically the topic is based on these operations only, and this question has been whether it may be operations on primitive data structures or whether it is an operations on non-primitive data structures. Both the questions has been asked several times. We'll see what are the operations on non-primitive data structures, but prior to that one, before we proceed to the operations of the non-primitive data structures, what are the, just try to remember here, what are the operations on primitive data structures? Creation, selection, updatation and destroy. We can create, we can select, we can update and we can destroy. These are the 4 operations on primitive data structures. But whereas the non-primitive data structures has nearly 6 operations. The first one is traversing. They are very easy statements. Try to understand what is traversing. It is the process of visiting each element in the data structure. What it is? It is the process of visiting each element in the data structure. Suppose if you have an array and you are visiting each element at least one time, that process is called as traversing. Then the second operation is insertion. It is the process of adding new element to the data structure. Very easy and simple statements. Try to understand these statements. First of all, see the things, highlighted words. What is traversing? It is the process of visiting each element in the data structure at least one time. Suppose we have an array of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 like this. Then visiting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 at least one time, is that operation is known as traversing. Then the second one is insertion. It is the process of adding new element. Already one array is existing. If we are adding one more element to that particular data structure, then it is called as insertion operation. Then the third one is deletion operation. We can understand these things very easier. It is the process of removing an item from the data structure. In insertion operation, we are going to insert a new element into the data structure, and in deletion operation, we are removing an element from the data structure. These are the basic things. Then next, searching. What is searching? It is the process of finding the location of a given element in the data structure. Suppose if I have given an array of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. In the next slide, I'll show you with the different examples. If I want to find one number, one element, then the search element will be given, and we'll find a location whether that element exists in that particular array or not. If it exists, then in which location it exists. That process is known as searching. Searching, that means finding the location. Then we have sorting. It is the process of arranging the data elements. In which order? Ascending or descending. It is the process of arranging the data elements of a data structure in some logical order. It may be ascending order or it may be descending order. This is the fifth operation. And in the sixth operation is merging. It is the process of combining the elements into two different data structures into a single data structure. Merging means combining. The two different data structures are combined into one. We'll see in the next slide how it looks. But we'll try to understand. First thing, we'll concentrate on what are the operations of non-primitive data structures. We have 6 operations on the screen. First one is traversing. What is traversing? Visiting each element in a data structure at least one time. Insertion, adding new element. Deletion, removing an item or removing an element. Searching, finding an element. Sorting, arranging the elements of a data structure. Merging is combining two different data structures into one single structure. We'll see the images now. Traversing operation, how it looks. Traversing in an array, how it looks. See, we have an array of 5 numbers. We can see it clearly on the picture. We have an array of 5 numbers. The first location 0, array of 0 has 73, then 1 has 98, then the second location has 86, 61, then 96. These values are already stored. We are visiting these things, visiting each element. We are starting from 0 and we are first we'll read 0, then we'll visit to the 1, then we'll go to the 2, then we'll go to the third location, then we'll go to the fourth location. So visiting each element of an array is known as traversing. Then the second one, this is just an image examples. Later we'll write an algorithm on these things and programs, and we'll see how it works. Okay, just these are the some image examples. Okay, in the next we'll see here insertion operation. See, this is insertion operation. Clearly observe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 numbers in an array. Initial array. The above array what we are seeing here, it has 10 numbers starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we are adding in the below line, you can see clearly here, array with x inserted at position, POS. POS stands for position. And position is given here 5. Now you can read this array 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, because that 50 is an x value which is inserted in between. in between or into an data structure into an array, then we are going to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is insertion. Inserting a new element into an array is known as insertion. Next we'll proceed to the next one, deletion operation. Deletion means removing an element from the data structure is known as deletion. You'll see it clearly here. We'll see it. First we'll see the original array at the top. From the top we are going to come here. The original array is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That means it has 5 values. The first value is 10, then the second value is 20, then further 30, 40 and 50. That original array has 5 numbers, and 20 or the second position of an array has been highlighted in orange color. That means we want to remove that element. We are not removing that position. We are removing an element. How we are going to remove it? That 30 is brought in the 20th place, and 40 is brought in the 30th place, and 50 is brought in the 40th place. Correct. We have removed 20 from the existing data structure. But we can see there we are seeing 52 times. Later we will see in the algorithm how it works. There is some problem you are observing here, but it has been reduced. Its size has been reduced. Later we are going to observe it in algorithm why we are seeing like this. Okay. Next we have, after deletion we are going to have search operation. Search means finding an element into an array. Okay, we'll concentrate on this. This is binary search technique. Later we'll see what is binary search and what is what is binary search. We'll see it later. But first we are going to have here in the first row we are seeing here there are some elements in an array. The positions are marked here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The array elements are 2, 5, 8, 12, 16, 23, 38, 56, 72, 91. They are arranged in an order. Binary search, this is a method which works in some of the order. Array is in ascending order. The values are 2, 5, 8, 12, 16, 23, 38, 56, 72, 91. Now we are going to find here 23. We are going to find 23, whether the 23 exists or not. We will see the last row. We found that 23 exists in this particular array, but there are some steps in the binary search. How we are going to search it, that we are going to deal later. Okay. So what are the operations we are having here? The first operation, you have to traversing. You got it? What is traversing? Visiting an element. Visiting each and every element of an array at least one time is traversing. Insertion, adding new element into an existing array, that is insertion. Then we are going to have deletion, that means removing an element. 20 is removed, we can see it clearly. Then next we are having search operation. Search means finding, we'll see it later. Then we have sorting. Sorting means arranging. We can arrange it in ascending order or descending order. Okay, we'll see the image here. We have an array, first initial unsorted array. You can see from the top 5, 3, 8, 4, 6. It is unsorted. Then we'll see the last row, because there is a certain procedure. Later I'll explain it when we come to the each and every process. We'll see the last row. The last row we can find here 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. It is arranged in ascending order. So, this is fifth operation, and the last operation is merging. Merging operation. What is merging operation? As we can see on the screen, there are two arrays here, array A and array B. Array A and array B. Array B is in green color, array A somewhat light pink color. Okay, now these two arrays are combined and we are going to show its values. See here, -9, -7, -9 belongs to array B, -7 belongs to array A. So, these combining array A and array B into one array, and that array is named as merged array, is merging operations. So, I think you understood these concepts. What are the operations? We have to understand these concepts. We have to write an algorithm for these concepts. But basically we have to understand what is traversing, what is insertion, what is deletion, what is searching, what is sorting, and then what is merging. Traversing, visiting each element in an array at least one time, that is traversing. It is the process of visiting each element in the data structure is traversing. Insertion, it is the process of adding new element to the data structure. That means we are going to add a new element. Deletion, it is the process of removing an element or item from the data structure. Searching, finding the location. Sorting, arranging the data elements in some sort of logical order like ascending or descending order. Merging, that is combining. Okay, we got it. We have seen these things. What is traversing, what is insertion, then we saw what is deletion, and after that we saw what is searching. This binary search, we have an algorithm, and several times we have this question, okay, write an algorithm on binary search. Sorting, that is very important question. Later we will deal with that part. Okay, then we have sorting and merging. Okay, now let me proceed to the next topic, the next concept. But prior to before we go to the next concept, we'll try to understand here. Basically, data structures are classified into two types. First one is primitive data structures. Second one is non-primitive data structures. The primitive data structures are readily available to the user. He can use it. The examples for primitive data structures are integer, float, double, character. And what are the operations we can do on primitive data structures? Create, selection, update, and destroy. These are these four operations we can do it on primitive data structures. But what about non-primitive data structures? Non-primitive data structures are those data structures which are not readily available. User has to design it. By using what? By using primitive data structures. So this is very important. By using primitive data structures, we have to derive the non-primitive data structures. And for such things, what are the examples we are having? Arrays, stacks, queues, linked list, trees, and graphs are the best examples for non-primitive data structures. But as we know, now we'll come to the screen, that non-primitive data structures are further classified as linear data structures and non-linear data structures. What do you mean by linear and non-linear? Linear means consecutive locations. Consecutive. Array is the best example for linear data structure. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 stored in an array. the first value is 10, then the second value is 20, and that 20 is stored in the next location, that means next consecutive location. Then 30 in the next consecutive location, then 40 in the next consecutive location, then the 50 in the next consecutive location. So this is linear data structure. We'll see on the screen what it is given here. A linear data structures exhibit means they show. A linear data structure exhibit an important property called urgency between the elements. The concept of urgency may indicate either linear or sequential. They are the different linear data structures. The different linear data structures are arrays, stacks, queues, and linked list. So please concentrate here. Trees and graphs are non-linear. We are going to discuss about only what now? Linear data structures. Then which are the linear data structures? Arrays, stacks, queues, and linked list. Remember these four. Remember these four because we are going to study in depth later in the next class. In the next class, I'm going to start with array. Then after completing array, we'll go for the stacks. And after completing stacks, we'll go for the queues. And after completing queues, we'll go for the linked list. But remember this part, array, stacks, queues, and linked list are which type of data structures? They are linear data structures. That means their values are stored in the next consecutive location. They have certain urgency. But whereas non-linear data structures are not having urgency. We'll see how an array looks here. This is an array in C language. We have seen in the first year. The first index is 0. Then we are going to proceed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the size of the array is 6, because the first element is 0. Okay, array of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4, A of 5. Like this we are going to read here. The size of an array is 6. Then next, this is an array we have already seen. Just we are showing some image concepts how actually an array looks. This is stack. You can see the structure of stack here. So this is stack, very similar to array, but it has some principle. In the image you are seeing some principle over there. It is written last in, first out. Last in, first out. LIFO principle it follows. Last in, first out. Okay, so that is stack. I can give an example, best example for this one is bangles. The girls are wearing bangles, isn't it? Suppose if a girl has put 5 bangles in her hand, then she is going to pick pop, means she is going to remove the last bangle for the first, isn't it? Last in, first out. See the concentrate. Take this example, bangles example. She is going to take the last bangle which she has put it in her hand for the first. Okay, so here we are having the stack here. Just concentrate on the image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If one is a first bangle, then the 2 is a second bangle, then third is a third bangle, fourth, fifth, sixth. In this way she has inputted. Then which one she is going to take it out first? Obviously it is 6 on the top. Are you seeing it? Okay, so this is stack. This is an example, image example. We'll deal it later. Array, and after array what we are having here? Stack. And after stack we are having queues. Queue, normally you have seen queue. People are having certain queues in the malls, in the cinema halls, in the electricity bill, wherever we see the people are standing in a queue. Correct. You can see here some blue blocks, 5 blue blocks where back and front is written. Front means that is the first person who is standing here. and this follows first in first out principle. First in first out means the data which has entered first, it is going to come out first. NQ and DQ are the two operations on queues, that we'll discuss it later. Just try to understand these images, they are very simple. Okay, then the next one is linked list. Last one, linked list. See, it has some different structure where you can say linked list. Okay, I will tell you in simple words. You can see some A block, B block, C block and D block. They are linked. You can see those arrows. So they are linked. That's the reason this list is called as linked list. We have to see these things clearly. Okay. So these are the examples for linear data structures. Then what are the linear data structures here? Array, stack, array, stack, queue and linked list are the data structures, linear data structures. Then we are going to have non-linear data structures. We'll see on the screen what is non-linear data structure. A non-linear data structures can exhibit, that means they show. A non-linear data structures can exhibit any property other than adjacency between the elements. That means they are not going to share non-consecutive locations. They are having other than that. Non-linear data structures may exhibit either hierarchical relationship or a parent-child relationship as shown in these figures. See, parent and child relationship is there, hierarchical is also there, tree and graph. The different non-linear data structures are trees and graphs. So this is a basic introduction to the primitive and non-primitive. Just we tried in this class what is primitive data structure and what is non-primitive data structures. Now let me revise this class in some simple few words. We are going to end here only today. Okay. Now can you tell me the data structures are classified into how many types? Basically two types, primitive and non-primitive. Then what are the examples for primitive data structures? Integer, float, double, character. Then what are the operations on primitive data structures? Creation, selection, update, destroy. Fine. Then what about non-primitive data structures? Non-primitive data structures are not readily available. User has to create it by using what? Primitive data structures. Then what are the operations we are going to perform on non-primitive data structures? Yes, traversing means visiting. Visiting each element at least one time, each data element at least one time. Insertion, adding a new element to the existing data structure. Deletion, removing an element from the existing data structure. Searching, finding the location of a given element is searching. Sorting, arranging the data elements into some logical order like ascending and descending, ascending or descending, then that is called as sorting. Merging, we have next one is merging. Merging means combining two different data structures into one data structure is called as merging. Okay, then we have studied that. The non-primitive data structures are further classified as linear and non-linear. Then what are the examples for linear data structures? Arrays, stacks, linked list and arrays, stack, queue and linked list are the examples for linear data structure. Then what are the examples for non-linear data structures? Trees and graphs, as you are seeing on the screen. They exhibit hierarchical and parent-child relationship. So please see this video. Okay, today we are going to end here only. Thank you. We'll continue.